What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Pigskin Picks. It's your boy Wayne Breezy, and the one and only Mose Nose is in the building. What's going on, baby?
I'm chilling, bro. How are you?
I'm good, man. Look, football is about to kick off this weekend. Thursday night football is about to set it off, and we got to get our picks in. So last year, I did a solo show. Last year, you did your solo picks show. I was like, let's combine the forces. With your powers combined, we can form Captain Planet. Now, seriously, though, but this will be interesting to go back and forth and you get to pick who you feel like is going to win this week throughout the NFL. I'll go through my ticks and picks on who I feel is going to win. And we're not going to prolong the show, Mose. Let's get right down to the nitty-gritty of everything. Week one is upon us. Thursday night football kicks off, man. We got the Detroit Lions visiting the Kansas City Chiefs, who I just found out Travis Kelce has a hyperextended knee. He got today in practice. So I'm curious to know if this changes anything. But Mose, who are you picking in this game?
Listen, the NFL didn't do the Detroit Lions any favors with this matchup. I'm actually excited about this Detroit Lions team. They're a young football team. They bought in. They believe in what Coach Dan Campbell is selling. But it's the defending champions. And, yeah, they might be without Travis Kelce. They might be without Chris Jones. That gives a little bit of leeway for a young running back like Jahmyr Gibbs to have a little bit of his way up the middle, but he's not a between the tackles guy. He's more of a, get to the edge and turn it upfield. So when Patrick Mahomes is on the field, it's really hard to go against him, especially against a young team. So I got the Chiefs.
It's going to be interesting to see if Travis Kelce is a scratch. Like, who is Patrick Mahomes going to be going to? Like, who is going to be his weapons? I do like their running back out there. They got a couple of running backs. Would Clyde Hilaire still be effective now, knowing that their tight end may be out? Who's going to be that pass catcher for Patrick Mahomes? Listen, they're at home, and Arrowhead Stadium is going to be on level 1,400 billion. I'm going Chiefs in that game as well. Not a shot at the Detroit Lions, but it's going to be tough for them to travel out there and try to figure out a way to win against the healthy Chiefs. But I even think the Chris Jones-less Chiefs are going to be a problem. Don't get it twisted. I do like Detroit's front. I think their defensive line is going to be amazing to watch. I think they'll even sack Patrick Mahomes a few times. I just don't think they'll win the game, all right? Carolina Panthers are traveling to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. All right, now this is a divisional game. This is the NFC South in the building, man. Who you got going in this game, bro?
This one is kind of a toss-up, really, because you got two young teams. You got two young quarterbacks. Obviously, one is a rookie in Bryce Young. One is a second-year quarterback in Desmond Ridder. I like the Falcons' offensive weapons a little bit more than I like the Panthers. Panthers defense is really, really solid. So it's going to be a matchup between the Panthers defense, Falcons offense. But if Bijan Robinson is anything like he showed in the preseason, I think the Panthers are going to have a tough day. I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons.
Interesting. I like Carolina Panthers, man. First, I like their uniforms better than I do the Falcons, so that helps me in who I'm going to pick in this particular game. But nah, seriously, man, look. Is Miles Sanders going to play for the Panthers? I don't know. It might be a Chuba Hubbard day. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do, how they bring out, how they try to attack this Atlanta Falcons defense on the road. I do feel like the Falcons just have weapons galore. It's time for their first-round picks to put up. They got Drake London, they got Kyle Pitts, and now they got Bijan Robinson. I just don't see how the Falcons should lose this game. And the only way I feel like they'll lose this game is if they literally lose this game. But I'm picking the Falcons here as well. Let's keep it going. Cincinnati Bengals, another divisional game versus the Cleveland Browns. The Bengals are traveling to Cleveland, which is probably an hour away, man. This is the Battle of Ohio. Who you got going in this game? Joe Burrow looks like he's healthy and ready to go.
Yeah, a healthy Joe Burrow against a Cleveland Browns team. I got to take Joe Burrow. I think the Bengals have this team's number. We still don't know what this Browns team is going to look like with Deshaun Watson. He's got a full offseason. There is no suspension this year. So I think they can find a way to muster up some chemistry. But the chemistry that they have is not going to be anywhere near the level of what Joe Burrow has with his weapons. And they added a new left tackle over there to protect his blind side. So I'm going Bengals week one.
At home, Cleveland Browns, man, will this be a resurgence of their quarterback in Deshaun Watson? I think he has a much better year than he did last year. So it's going to be interesting to watch. They do have the better run game, in my opinion, even when it comes to passing out of the backfield as well. I mean, I think Nick Chubb is an edge over Joe Mixon. But when you look at those pass catching weapons, look, I think this game is going to be a lot tougher than it appears to be. I'm actually going to go with the Cleveland Browns in this one at home. I know it's going to be an upset, but isn't it an upset to win at home? I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll be here next week to talk about it. All right, Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville, the Jags are traveling to Indianapolis. The Jonathan Taylor-less Indianapolis Colts. Who the hell is their quarterback?
I think they're starting Anthony Richardson.
They are starting the rookie. Okay. All right. So, Jags, man, tough team. They're a tough team. Who you got winning?
Yeah, I got the Jaguars here. I think they built so much continuity over the last year. That comeback playoff victory against the Chargers when it looked like it was all downhill at first, for them to battle back in that game. I think that was good momentum for them coming into this season. Doug Peterson, another year with Trevor Lawrence in that offense. And then you add a guy like Calvin Ridley to this wide receiver core. Listen, I think this Jags team is going to surprise a lot of people this year. I'm going Jacksonville.
I'm going Jags, man. There's nothing I need to explain other than what you said. The Jaguars look dangerous. Trevor Lawrence is coming of age, man. He's going to have a great time against this Indianapolis Colts. They do get their star linebacker. I believe he's healthy. I don't want to say his wrong name. I know he changed his name, but they do get him back. Not sure there'll be enough to put up on offense, especially without Jonathan Taylor there to kind of like run the game plan for the offense for the Colts. I'm going to sit here. Now, listen, don't get it twisted. I'm going to be watching Anthony Richardson ball out, but I think the Jags are going to be too tough. Even on the road, Jags win. Let's go Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers, they're traveling to Minnesota, baby. Who you got winning this game?
Vikings, for the simple fact that I don't trust Baker Mayfield.
Easy. Vikings. I'm going Vikings. I think Kirk Cousins over Baker Mayfield every day. And it sucks because it's gonna be sad to watch the decline of Mike Evans and maybe Chris Godwin this year. I feel like they're gonna take a slight decline. They got Rashad Johnson as their running back. I'm not sure what he's gonna be able to do for them, but I just don't think this is gonna be the Bucs' year. I'm not saying they're gonna go and lose every game. I just don't think there'll be a matchup for this Minnesota Vikings, even though the Vikings defense has been depleted. So I'm going offense versus offense in this game. I'm taking Vikings with you, bro. Tennessee Titans. Tennessee. They traveling to Nolens. All right. Not a far drive, not a far flight. This your face is quenching though. Like this doesn't sound like an easy pick for you. I like that Saints defense, bro.
I do too, especially in New Orleans. One of my good memories of being in football stadiums. I was with my father-in-law. We went down to New Orleans for the playoff game that they had against the Eagles. And when I tell you that building is electric, like it was so loud in there, like you couldn't hear anybody near you. You just hear screaming. And where we were sitting, we were in, the upper level. You can feel the building shaking. I think the fan base is excited about Derek Carr. He isn't, the greatest quarterback in the league by any stretch of imagination. But I think they're excited to have some resemblance of a consistent quarterback on this team with the weapons that they have and with that defense. This is tough. I like Tennessee. I think they're well coached as well. Coach Vrabel does an amazing job. If I could still play, if I was in the NFL, he's one of the coaches that I would love to play for. I run through a brick wall for that guy. So this one is kind of tough for me. I do like the Saints defense a little bit more right now, and especially at home. This is an upset for me. Like I said, I don't know if it could be an upset if you're at home. I'm going to pick New Orleans. I'm going to pick New Orleans.
I'm with you. Well, I don't know, man.
This was tough. This was tough.
They got to deal with a healthy Derrick Henry. They got Tajay Spears. Treylon Burks is healthy. I think it's set up for their quarterback to be successful offensively. I think defensively they're always going to figure out a way to bring it. They got the interior when it comes to stopping the run. The Saints will be Alvin Kamara-less. How are they going to run the ball? I think I'm gonna go with the Titans here, bro. I think
Okay.
I'm gonna switch it up a little bit and go with the Titans on the roll. I think the run game will be sustainable for the Titans. If Derrick Henry is as healthy as I think he is, good luck trying to stop that. I would love to see Tyrann Mathieu have to sit there and tackle Derrick Henry all game. I think he'll be able to get to that second level easily. So I'm going to go Titans here. All right, man. Here's the matchup because we are San Francisco 49er fans, and this is the matchup of the day. I know it's early game. These are all 1 o'clock games that we're doing as of right now, but the San Francisco 49ers are traveling out to Pittsburgh to face the Steelers. Mose, who you got winning in this game?
At
Remember, wins and losses count on this show.
They definitely do. As much as my gut is telling me Pittsburgh, because of everything that's going on with the 49ers, possibly not having George Kittle, possibly not having Nick Bosa, I can't go against my squad week 1. I can't.
Okay.
I can't. It goes against what we want as fans is to start hot. Now, 1-0, is that starting hot? No. You got to string a couple wins together, but you immediately negate starting hot if you go 0-1. You know, now the questions start to pop up. And if we do go 0-1, then the media is going to be nuts around this team because of the lack of Nick Bosa not being there, and he may not even be the reason why we lose the game. So for all of that, I have to stick with my squad. I'm going Niners.
Yeah, I mean, it's an easy pick for me. Like, it's really hard for me to pick. I mean, something detrimental would have to happen to my team for me to not pick them to win. But I mean, I'll keep it a buck. Like, if I feel like the matchup isn't good, I think the matchup is going to be pretty fair across the board. I think the 49ers are traveling relatively healthy with the majority of their squad. I feel like the Steelers are going to come into this game healthy, and I think it's going to come down to some type of attrition. I think the Niners are deeper than the Pittsburgh Steelers, even being on the road. I like the matchup just between the head coach, and I like the innovative, offensive-minded Kyle Shanahan going against the defensive-minded, tenured Hall of Fame coach and Mike Tomlin. Like, I like that right then and there. I think they both are kind of stubborn and egotistical in their kind of set ways. But listen, it's going to be a matchup there. But I'm going to go Niners. I feel like the Niners find a way to edge the Steelers. I don't have a crazy high-scoring game. We did our score predictions on Nitty Gritty Niners Talk, but I just feel like it's going to be a good game, a game you don't want to miss, a game to set it off in week 1. Arizona Cardinals, bro. All right, this is going to be fun because the Arizona Cardinals are traveling out to the East Coast as well. They'll be facing the Washington Commanders. Tough defense. Arizona Cardinals, no Kyler Murray. Who are you picking in this game?
Commanders.
Yeah, that was easy. We'll just keep it moving. Houston Texans at the Baltimore Ravens, bro. I think Baltimore is might be one of the scariest teams in the NFL. I know we haven't seen it come to fruition yet, but from what I'm hearing and with their new, offensive-minded coordinator, they're gonna let Lamar Jackson be Lamar Jackson, have more say-so in this offense. They added some weapons and Zay Flowers, and I know it sounds like I'm picking Baltimore to win, but do the Houston Texans have a shot on the road week 1?
Unfortunately, they do not. This Baltimore team is seasoned. They have playmakers all over the field. That defense is insane, and we gotta look at the obvious. Houston Texans have a rookie head coach. They have a rookie quarterback. So it's the first year for both of those guys. I will be watching the Texans. I'm excited to see what D'Amico Ryans is able to build with that organization. I'm excited to see how C.J. Stroud starts his career and how he progresses and develops. But again, NFL didn't do the Texans any favors by scheduling them on the road against the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going Baltimore.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going Ravens here. I just feel like that's going to be my AFC team to be playing in the Super Bowl. So I'm going to go out there and say that I think the team is pretty stacked. I don't know why I like the Ravens so much, but I just feel like they're going to be. Maybe it's the Lamar Jackson factor. They did add OBJ. Again, I can't wait to see Zay Flowers ball out. I think J.K. Dobbins comes back. He's healthy. They're going to have some type of running game minus the quarterback doing all the running. It's going to be hard to beat the Ravens, and they're going to be at home as well. 4:25 games kick off. Green Bay Packers, they're traveling out to Chicago, all right, to play the Bears. The Bears. So who do you have edging in this game? Another divisional game. Feel like it's going to be another close scoring game.
Yeah, I feel like this is one that's going to be close as well. I was initially leaning towards the Bears, but I feel like the Packers just have their number.
I
And while the quarterback isn't the same, this is not the Aaron Rodgers led Packers. The Packers defense is still a top flight defense. And Aaron Jones is still in the backfield for the
top
Packers.
10 running back in the league.
And so is
AJ Dillon, bro.
So
around
listen,
that goal line. Whew.
Listen, so I think just as an organization, the coaching staff that's in place and the players that have been here, I think they want to continue that dominance over this division opponent. I'm gonna go Green Bay Packers.
I think you nailed it on the head when you talked about the Packers and their defense. And they're not just built up front as well, man. They have like still a strong secondary. And I do like the addition of DJ Moore to the Chicago Bears. I mean, he's going to be one of my favorite players to watch this year because of how they're going to utilize him. But it's going to be tough, man. I know the Bears are at home, but I think because the Packers just have their number, you know how we just have the Rams number? I just felt like this is one of the divisional games. It's going to be hard to win during the regular season. I'm going to go Packers here as well. The Las Vegas Raiders, okay? The Las Vegas Raiders, Jimmy Garoppolo Raiders are traveling to Denver to take on the Broncos. Now, I'm curious to know how you stand on this game. Last time Jimmy was in Denver, he had a pick 8. I know people are going to get mad at that shot, but it is what it is. It's what happened. It didn't count, but it was what happened.
And that's exactly what happened. And I think he may still be a little traumatized from that incident because this Broncos defense is that good. They're
Okay.
really, really good defense. And I think Sean Payton is going to add wrinkles to this offense. A healthy Javonte Williams coming back. I'm going Broncos here. I don't think the Raiders have enough to get it done.
I'm going Broncos here too. But there's some weird advantages, right? Though I feel like the Raiders in the run game edge the Broncos in their run game. But then when you factor in the quarterback being a part of the run game, then I feel like the Broncos run game edges the Raiders run game. So look, I'm taking Russell Wilson. Jimmy's a former 49er. Wilson owns the 49ers, period. It's just what he does. I feel like he'll continue to own Jimmy Garoppolo, and then that'll be that. All right, here we go. Now, I'm curious to know the Philadelphia Eagles, week 1, they travel to Boston, Massachusetts. All right, well, it's not in Boston, but you know what I'm saying. It's up in that area. They're going to take on the New England Patriots. The Patriots at home, Bill Belichick, it's tough to beat in New England. I know the weather isn't going to be a factor. It's actually hot over here on the East Coast this week. I'm curious to know, do the Eagles come out swinging or do the Patriots come out slinging?
No, Eagles about to smack the hell out the Patriots. I'm sorry. Listen, this Eagles defense is nuts. They're pretty much the Philadelphia.
No.
They're pretty much the Philadelphia Bulldogs. And then look at the offensive side of the ball. You got a solid offensive line. Jalen Hurts was an MVP candidate. I love the receivers. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. They got tight ends for days. I think they moved on from Miles Sanders, but they brought a Philly kid back. DeAndre Swift is from the Philadelphia area. I think he's going to do really, really good as long as he can stay healthy. But I think he's going to do really good in this Philadelphia offense. I don't think there's going to be any drop off from what Miles Sanders was able to do. This Eagles team is probably the only team that I'm concerned about or just looking forward to playing, because when we get to play them in the regular season, that'll help us determine, are we ready to see them again when it's the playoff time and advancing or going home is on the line. So yeah, Eagles gonna smack the Patriots.
I I'm going Patriots. I'm not even going to explain it. I just think at home,
What?
I don't
Okay.
care. I don't care what the paper says. I think when it comes down to manipulating things, no one does it better than Bill Belichick. You have not like these dudes wouldn't even like sign bring a backup quarterback, and they made him go through waivers to put him on the practice squad. They are in on Mac Jones, and Mac Jones may just be, and he may end up being the best quarterback in that draft. I'm just saying I'm gonna rock. Didn't they bring Bill O'Brien? But they got some pieces back in their camp to run the offense, to make the offense better, to fit Mac Jones. I like Ramondre Stevenson. I know that Philadelphia line is crazy. I know, but they got Zeke Elliott. You know who knows Philadelphia's line more than anybody? It'd probably be Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah.
I think he wants to do one of these again. I haven't seen that in a minute. I'm going to go Patriots here. You call me cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, bro, but that's where I'm going. Let's keep it, man. We got a couple of more 425 games to go. The Miami Dolphins versus the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm thinking this is going to be 90 points total, man. This is an offensive game for me.
Yeah, I think this is an offensive game. I think the Dolphins want to come out swinging. But Justin Herbert and this Chargers team,
and the new
they
offense.
had it's put up or shut up for them. You know, they've been a good team. They've been a fringe playoff team. But you know, I just talked about it. Their loss against the Jaguars last year in the playoffs, I think that put a sour taste in a lot of Chargers fans' mouths. And then Justin Herbert just signed this massive contract. It's put up or shut up versus the Chargers against a team like Miami, who they potentially see as an adversary when it comes playoff time. I think the Chargers at home, start the season off with a bang. I'm going with LA.
I just want to make sure I check my picks because I did my picks earlier, so I'll make sure I stay honest to my picks. I'm going Chargers as well. I know that Miami is going to come swinging like you said. They definitely may have one of the most elite offenses. But I don't think we got a chance to see what the Chargers offense can really do. Keenan Allen is supposed to be healthy now. Mike Williams is healthy again. And then they just added Quentin Johnson. And then Austin Eckler may just he's one of the top 5 running backs in the league. Look, offensively, they got an offensive line.
Healthy too.
And I didn't even talk about the defense yet. So we all saw what a good defense can do against a stout offense in Miami. Does that ring a bell? Ha-ha! All right, man. Speaking of Los Angeles, the Los Angeles Rams are traveling up north. Yep.
Seahawks.
Yep. All right.
Seahawks.
Sunday night football. I mean, it was enough said, man. I never said Seahawks that fast. Matter of fact, I didn't even say the Seahawks. You said it for both of us. Sunday night football, Dallas Cowboys versus the New York Giants. The Giants are at home. All right. The Cowboys are traveling. The Cowboys look good defensively. They look like they're going to be stout on offense. And they're playing the Giants, man. Who do you got winning this game?
I got the Giants.
Damn it, Mose. I thought we were going to disagree. I thought we would get a disagreement here.
I got the Giants at home. I like what Brian Daboll did with this team, and I understand this is a new season. He's got a lot on film, so they're not going to surprise anybody like they did last year. But I think the continuity that he's built up, I think the confidence and the comfortability that he's built with Daniel Jones. We've got Saquon in the building. They've added some receivers. I'm a big fan of Jalen Hyatt. Now we got a tight end in Darren Waller that can help us stretch the middle of the field out.
That's the biggest acquisition.
Defense is solid. They add a dynamic weapon in Isaiah Simmons. They add Deontay Banks in the draft. Listen. I got the Giants at home to beat the Cowboys.
I got the Giants. This is going to be an upset. I know a lot of people watching the show going to be like, oh, these are just Cowboy haters. Nah, I just don't think you're going to beat the Giants. Not at home. Maybe when your guys are at home, might be a different story depending on how the season pans out. But I just think week 1, I think Brian Daboll has his troops ready, locked, and loaded. Dallas is going to have to travel on the road and try to figure out a way to win this game. Should be great. Should be fireworks on Sunday Night Football. We cap off the week with another divisional game. Buffalo Bills versus the New York Jets. defense versus defense. The Jets looking to take a surge on the offensive side. You got one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league. I think Aaron Rodgers, old as dirt, but still can get it out. Like, pause, right? Like, so at the end of the day, this is going to be a good matchup. Monday Night Football, the lights are on. Who you got, man?
I got Buffalo in this game. I think the Jets are going to be a really, really exciting team to watch. They have Aaron Rodgers. We know all the offensive weapons they have. Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall. They bring in Dalvin Cook. We know that defense is going to be on fire. I just met Robert Saleh a couple days ago at a basketball tournament. Cool dude. I think they're going to be a really, really fun watch this year. I think they're going to be in the running for this division. I think the Buffalo Bills are too seasoned of a football team, to start the season off. Now, any given Sunday, anything could happen. But I think the Buffalo Bills are going to start the season off right. It'll be a close game, but I got the Bills edging the Jets in this one.
Yeah, like I want to pick the Jets, right? I want to pick the Jets. I feel like the Jets are going to be a dynamic team once they get it all together. Once Aaron Rodgers starts to understand his offensive line, it might be a little bit different for him. It might take him a little time to get that continuity built. He still will make plays, but he's going against a top 5 defense. The Buffalo Bills are no slouch on D. DeMar Hamlin is back. They're playing for stuff. They're on the road. Like, oh, man, this is going to be interesting. Buffalo in their white jerseys, I feel like they find a way to be victorious again. Not a blowout, but I think this will be I'm looking at like 50-something total points in this game, maybe a little bit higher. It's going to be fun to watch, though. I'm going Buffalo Bills with you. Now, listen, every week what we'll do is we'll tally up our picks. All right. I'm sure Mo's got his picks down. I got my picks as well. And this is going to be fun, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Listen, make sure you follow us on our social medias. All right. Shout out to our sponsors over at Residency. We'll get the social medias up and going. All right. YouTube. Mose, let me know if I get anything wrong. I'll make sure I fix it. All right. Everything will be in the link of the description of the show. All right. You can go Twitter. You can follow and subscribe there, as well as Instagram and Threads. All right. And I can't wait to bring like who's winning after week 1. This is going to be fun. I feel like I picked a couple of teams that Mose has surefire wins, and I can't wait to see what happens, Mose. Let's get it down to the nitty gritty, baby, like we normally do. Thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate y'all. Stay up, stay faithful, man. Peace out.